Our series on drugs and drug abuse continues now with a special look at the problem in America's inner cities, where drugs have become a part of everyday life for children as well as adults. Two men with different approaches to the problem of drugs and children are with us. They are Education Secretary William Bennett and Civil Rights and Political Leader Jesse Jackson. We set up their discussion with this report from Oakland, California, by Spencer Michaels of public station KQED San Francisco.
Everyone agrees it's the easy drug money that leads to scenes like this one in Oakland. Police barge into a home and arrest young people in the throes of the illegal drug business. Around the country, especially in poor areas with high unemployment, thousands of teenagers and younger children are so thoroughly involved in using or dealing drugs that an entire generation is endangered.
Okay, so how do you feel about this?
It's a way of life for most people. You know, they grow up selling marijuana and weed and stuff. That's how they make their money.
Nobody wants to work making no minimum wage. That's not any money at all. $3.35 when they can go out there and sell drugs and make fast money.
Make $1,000 a day.
Of course, drugs are everywhere, from suburbia to fashionable city neighborhoods. And it is the widespread use of drugs that has brought the problem to the attention of Nancy Reagan and others. The First Lady has carried her anti-drug crusade around the country and even overseas. Here, she visits a rally in Oakland and joins in a cheer to just say no. Mrs. Reagan's approach is targeted at children, the most vulnerable sector of society.
Someone is going to come up to you and say, come on, this is fun. Everybody does it. But everybody doesn't do it. And it's not fun. And it takes a lot more courage to say no than it does to say yes.
Nancy Reagan's appearances here and at rallies and events like this all across the country have accomplished one thing. They have focused nationwide attention on the problems of drug use and sales. Those problems run deep, perhaps deeper than is evident at rallies like this. Like many urban areas, Oakland's population is heavily minority, 40% black, with 16% of the families living below the poverty level. Nowhere are drugs so pervasive. Nowhere do they determine the quality of life so absolutely as in these poor minority neighborhoods.
I was making enough money to recop and have fun, you know, get high every night and go places and buy little things, you know.
That whole life, you know, revolved around violence and, you know, selling drugs and making money and stuff, you know.
17-year-old convicted drug dealers serving time talk freely about their lives on the condition they remain anonymous. They can tell you that life on the streets of Oakland or any city can be dangerous.
I think it was possible that I could have got killed, you know, being a mistake for somebody else, or like you were saying about turf wars and stuff like that, you know.
SDU 2 guys, SDU 1 guys, all got your shotguns, right?
What is mainly being done about drugs is vigorous police attacks on street dealing.
All units, go.
They do it full time, trying to find out where drugs are being sold outdoors. The result, according to the cops?
It appears it moved a lot of it inside. It's made them a lot more cautious. You don't see the numbers of kids on the corners selling that you used to see.
I don't care if they take every police officer from every state and country, they will not, you know, they will not stop drugs. I mean, it's part of their everyday life. I mean, it's part of their program in their life. Every day they wake up, I say, well, we're going to go over to her house and get high.
I started smoking weed when I was in the 4th grade. It wasn't no big deal. I just smoked weed every day.
Every day?
And I still smoke weed every day.
On a major thoroughfare in East Oakland, 3 young women, none of them yet graduated from high school, passed the time.
Everybody into cocaine nowadays because there's so many base heads out here.
Ava Washington has lived in East Oakland in a housing project 14 years and worries constantly about her children's safety because of gang warfare.
And I'm not going to lie, it's drugs. It's drug-related, and then again, it's this peer pressure thing. And like, we sitting out here, and they've been coming through here like once a week. And the boys that's playing over there at the basketball court, they'll just start shooting. Don't care who they shooting at, they just begin to misfiring.
Yeah, there be a lot of shooting around here.
Sometimes it be at nighttime, sometimes be in the daytime when people be playing. But if I hear it's right by me, if it's right by me, I'll run. But if it ain't, I just keep playing.
I was scared of dying, right? When you come close to dying, you know, it's even times that I didn't came that close to death. And laughed about it the same night, a couple hours after it happened, just laughed about it.
Remain seated and come to order. Court's now in session.
In juvenile court, Judge Wilmot Sweeney must decide how to treat young drug dealers. Sweeney presides over an increasing number of cases where teenagers are accused of selling hard drugs. Here, a young man was caught selling cocaine while on probation for a previous drug violation.
I believe that the minor is motivated, and I believe that his stay in custody, some 38 days, has taught him a very, very valuable lesson.
While he was on probation, he may have been completing his weekend training academy, but he was flunking the course out on the street.
Like the prosecutor and the probation officer, Sweeney finds that it's hard to reason with young drug offenders. Nothing seems to impress them other than the threat of jail.
The lack of morality that's displayed by them, and the fact that they don't even see things the way the rest of us see things. That's shocking and it's scary. We've got to do something about it.
My basic concern is this is 2 times in a row and in a very short time. I mean, a very short time. He comes in and there's one drug finding, then he turns around and he does another one. Bam. It's telling the court to go to hell. Probation report indicates that the mother has a cocaine problem herself.
I almost felt like crying. I hope you didn't see that in there. At least I hope he didn't see that. This kid's mother is on cocaine. It's clear that he's using his cocaine sales to help support the family. I've got to consider taking him out of the home and placing him somewhere else.
All right, now, James, I'm ordering you to camp. If you come back with drugs, I got to escalate. That means I got to get tougher.
Tough is one of my A things. I take the view to the kid. You've told everybody to go to hell up to me. If you'd listened to the cop on the beat, you never would have gotten into trouble. If you'd listened to your school teacher, you never would have gotten into trouble. And finally, you're here dealing with me. I am the last step. You will not tell me to go to hell and get away with it. We've got to say that something can be done at this level. And I insist that we try hard to do that.
Educators find that by the time a child reaches high school, it is probably too late to direct him away from a drug life. Oakland is trying to get to younger elementary school children.
Someone came up to me and asked me to sell drugs, but I said no.
Street Smarts, in its first year, is a carefully crafted curriculum designed to teach elementary school children how to deal with crime, drugs, and violence. Toward the end of the instruction block, uniformed police officers run one class.
Do you think that drug sales are going to stop because one person says no?
Nobody knows if this approach keeps kids on the straight and narrow as they enter their teens. What is missing is a full-scale assault that gets at causes, not just symptoms, to change the lives of youngsters caught up in a cycle of drugs and poverty.